The audience was buzzing with excitement as the lights dimmed and the band played its upbeat jingle. Stephen Colbert welcomed everyone with his signature charm and wit, teasing the night's anticipated guest, Cillian Murphy, fresh off his critically acclaimed performance in a new psychological thriller. As Colbert cracked jokes about Murphy's mysterious aura and iconic roles, fans eagerly awaited a deep and meaningful conversation. What they didn't expect was a heated verbal showdown that would turn the episode into one of the most talked-about moments in late-night history. The tension was subtle at first, a slight narrowing of eyes and firming of jaws, but soon the smiles faded. Even before Colbert asked his first serious question, Murphy seemed on edge, his normally reserved demeanor replaced with a quiet intensity that made the room feel charged. Colbert began the interview with light banter, referencing Murphy's earlier roles and asking him to reenact a line from Peaky Blinders. Murphy complied, but his delivery was flat and short. When Colbert chuckled and asked if he was saving the good stuff for the serious part, Murphy gave a half-smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. The mood shifted further when Colbert brought up a rumor about Murphy being difficult on set. Murphy's smile dropped. "I think people confuse intensity with difficulty," he replied evenly. Colbert, sensing the edge, tried to pivot, but then followed with a question about fame and personal privacy that struck a nerve. "Isn't that the price you pay for being adored?" he quipped. Murphy's response was measured, but there was steel behind it. "That's a simplistic view of a very complex issue, Stephen." Tension rose as the conversation grew heavier. Colbert, trying to steer toward cultural relevance, asked about Murphy's stance on recent industry protests and artistic responsibility. Murphy gave a long, thoughtful answer about the commodification of art and the exploitation of actors' tours, images in modern media. However, Colbert, playing devil's advocate, interrupted with a counterpoint that many saw as flippant. "But isn't that just part of the machine you willingly step into?" he asked. Murphy visibly stiffened, his brows furrowing. "That machine," he said, "is often built on silence and complicity." The audience's laughter faltered. What had started as late-night fun had taken a sharp turn into uncomfortable territory. Colbert smiled awkwardly, trying to diffuse the heat with another joke, but Murphy wasn't playing along anymore. The real breaking point came when Colbert joked about actors pretending to care about social issues during awards season. It was intended as a satire on celebrity culture, but Murphy took it personally. "You don't get to decide what's real for us," he said, his voice low and steady. Colbert raised his eyebrows. "Just asking questions," he said, raising his hands in mock surrender. Murphy leaned forward. "But those questions carry assumptions. Dangerous ones." The studio went silent. Colbert attempted to laugh it off again, but Murphy wasn't interested in playing the game. "I thought we were here to talk about work, not to trivialize the things I stand for." Colbert mumbled something about keeping it light, but Murphy had already unclipped his mic. "I don't do light," he said, and stood up. The camera crew scrambled, unsure whether to keep rolling. Colbert was visibly flustered, clearly not expecting such a strong reaction. The audience, confused, began murmuring. Murphy gave a small nod to the crowd and walked off the stage without another word. Producers rushed behind the curtain as Colbert tried to salvage the moment with a joke about actors being a bit dramatic sometimes. But the comment fell flat. Social media exploded instantly. Within minutes, clips of Murphy's intense expression and sharp words were circulating online. Some viewers praised him for standing his ground, while others criticized both men for letting ego derail a public conversation. Either way, the moment had gone viral, cementing itself in late-night infamy. Backstage, reports say Murphy was visibly shaken. "I came to talk about the film, not defend my beliefs on a comedy show," he allegedly said to a crew member. Meanwhile, Colbert huddled with his team, debating how to frame the situation. Some pushed for an apology on air, while others insisted it would blow over by the next viral headline. However, the damage was done. Media outlets pounced, with headlines like "Colbert clashes with Murphy on live TV" and "Murphy walks out," a cautionary tale for late-night hosts. For Murphy, it marked a rare crack in his otherwise carefully composed public image. For Colbert, it was a reminder that not every guest plays by the rules of entertainment. The next day, Murphy released a short statement via his publicist. Cillian Murphy values respectful dialogue and artistic integrity. The interview environment last night did not reflect those values. Colbert responded during the next episode, acknowledging that tensions rose but standing by his questions. "Sometimes," he said, "conversations go places you don't expect. That's the beauty and the risk of doing this live." The audience clapped, but the undercurrent of controversy remained. Commentators debated whether Colbert had crossed a line or whether Murphy had overreacted. Either way, the clip continued to rack up millions of views across platforms, turning an awkward moment into a cultural flashpoint. In the days that followed, fans dissected every word exchanged during the interview. Linguists and PR experts weighed in. Body language analysts posted frame-by-frame breakdowns of Murphy's shifting posture. Others compared the incident to past walk-offs, drawing parallels to other famous celebrity flare-ups. Online forums buzzed with fan theories. Some believed it was a planned stunt to promote Murphy's film. Others insisted it was a rare, raw moment of authenticity in a media landscape starved for sincerity. Regardless of interpretation, the moment struck a chord, highlighting the growing divide between celebrity interviews designed for laughs and those seeking something deeper. Meanwhile, Murphy kept a low profile, canceling a few upcoming talk show appearances. Insiders say he felt the need to step back from the circus. Support poured in from fellow actors who appreciated his candor. One co-star tweeted, "It takes guts to stand up for what you believe in. Proud of you, Cillian." Colbert, ever the professional, didn't dwell on the event, but his team quietly reevaluated how future interviews would be handled. Producers implemented new briefing strategies and boundaries around sensitive topics. The show remained popular, but the incident left a permanent mark on its tone. There was now a heightened awareness of where humor ends and tension begins. Over time, the moment faded from the headlines, but its impact lingered. Murphy eventually returned to the spotlight, granting a thoughtful interview to a respected journalist, where he addressed the walk-off. "I don't regret it," he said. "Sometimes you have to step away when the space isn't right for you." The interviewer nodded. "That takes strength," Murphy shrugged. "Or maybe just knowing when to say enough." It was a closing statement that resonated with many, not because it was dramatic or sensational, but because it was honest. And, in an industry often ruled by masks and rehearsed charm, that honesty might just be what made the moment unforgettable.